Good afternoon, everyone.
Prepare. Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Right now, I'll be handling the class.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay. Hope everyone is happy about it.
Yes,
Of
So,
course.
in morning session, we had completed with the major theories and all, isn't it? Till McKinsey's framework, we have already done. Now, you have only two small topics to discuss. That is the corporate social responsibility and the managerial ethics. With these two, your second module also gets completed. So, coming to the corporate social responsibility, we had already discussed about this in general. The thing is that the corporates or the organizations' responsibility towards the society. That's what corporate social responsibility is about. So, the responsibility or CSR refers to ensuring the success of the business by inclusion of social and environmental considerations, which means that it refers to ensuring, means it focuses on or emphasis on ensuring the success of business by including the social factors as well as the environmental consideration that an organization should always keep. Why this is required is that whenever there is an organization, they should satisfy all of its customers, their shareholders, their stakeholders, their the financial supporters, the owners, everyone, the society, everything, the environment, all things they have to take into consideration and they have to satisfy all this. So, for this reason, the corporate social responsibility is being undertaken. It means that contributing positively to the society, and also it means about managing your organization with a right environmental impact. So, it means that you should have a means consideration for the society, that is the social needs through many incentives, and also you should always keep a view of your environment also. The thing is that you should not pollute the environment. That factor should also be taken into consideration. So hence we can say that CSR is a contribution to sustainable development, implying the way a company balances its economic, environmental, and social objectives. So always corporate responsibility is a contribution to sustainable development. Sustainable development in the sense that you utilize your resources in such a manner that you will have those resources in the future as well. So that's what the efficient utilization is about, the sustainable development. You use maximize the utilization, efficiently utilize the present resources, but also save it for the future as well. That's what sustainable development is about. So you have to means think in a way that there is a sustainable development which involves or which implies that there is a company's balance in its economic, environmental, and social objectives. So this is what the corporate social responsibility is about. So, coming to the what are the responsibilities that a manager should have to the society or the segments of the society? We can consider that the society can be divided into seven segments. First is the employees, second, the owners, third, consumers, fourth is the government, fifth is the shareholders, sixth is the community, and seventh is the environment. So, learning those in detail. What are the commitments or what are the responsibility that an organization should have with all these segments of the society? First, starting with the employees. The thing is that no organization can succeed without employees, isn't it? So their cooperation is very important. So in order to get the cooperation, the responsibility towards them have to be maintained. So, what are the responsibilities that an organization should have with the employees, including the form of training that they provide, promotion, and also proper selection, then fair wages and salary should be fair enough, then safety that they provide, the health, workers' education, all these are the factors that contribute to the employees. So this is what the contribution or the responsibility that an organization should have to the employees. Second is about the owners. Owners, of course, they are accountable towards owners in the way that they should get the uh, the management or the organization should be maintained or performed in a way that the owners should get some profit. They should be getting some profit from their business. They should ensure fair and regular return on their capital employed. This is what the responsibility that an organization, the managers should have to the owners. The thing is that they should always take decision in such a manner that the company or the organization always earns profit rather than incurring losses. And also it should ensure fair and regular return on the capital employed. The thing is that the owners are the people who are providing, means who are means spending many financial needs or money on different needs, isn't it? So when they are providing that, when they are spending that, it is the responsibility of the workers in the organization as well as the managers to provide them with a regular employed. So this is what the responsibility that they have. Then the thing is that to the consumers, of course, the organization always have a responsibility towards the consumers. So the responsibility towards the consumers can be in two, that is on the basis of product, and the second is on the basis of marketing. On the basis of product, what responsibility is that they should be providing quality goods and services. The quality of the goods should be ensured. They should produce and supply only good quality goods. That's what about the product is about. And also the thing is that they should ensure the distribution should make goods easily available in the market, and it should avoid artificial scarcities. Artificial scarcities in the sense that these scarcities which are being created rather than the actual scarcity. Without supplying those products, they will create the market, people will create artificial scarcity. That situation should be avoided, and also the sales should be prompt. The proper sales of the goods and services, timely sales of the goods and services should be ensured. Then also the thing is that while producing a commodity, they should ensure that they buy and produce goods for the community in the sense that it should not be in a manner that if uh, means most of the consumers are demanding normal goods, instead of that what the organization sometimes they might produce luxurious goods. That should not happen. If the demand for normal goods are there, then the normal goods should be produced and made available in the market rather than the luxurious goods. So that's what the responsibility that an organization should have to be consumed. Then also buying capacity and consumer preference should be taken into consideration while deciding the manufacturing policies. Then the thing is that regarding marketing, what we can say about marketing is that sometimes the advertisements and all you people might have noted. Whose mic is on? Can you please switch it off? Sorry, turn it off.
Jishnu,
Sajeevan,
Jishnu.
Jishnu Sajeevan.
Hey, everyone, please turn off your mic. Please turn to mute it. Mute your mic. Okay, thank you. So coming to the marketing, it means that the consumer should not be misled. For example, we can see that many of the advertisements and all, mostly in the case of fairness cream and all, you must have noted that if you apply this product, you become too fair. Such kind of misleading advertisements, misled claims should be avoided. That's what the responsibility that an organization should have to the consumers. And also the thing is that they should avoid selling goods that will adversely affect the health of the people. Sometimes the thing is that some energy drinks, all these things should not be overly promoted. For example, and also the thing is that you may not note any advertisements on cigarettes. Is there any secret advertisement? No. The thing is that such kind of things should be avoided. Such kind of advertisements and all should be avoided. That's what a responsibility that the organization should have to the consumers, which adversely affect their health, which risk them. Those products should be avoid maximum reduced, and such kinds of advertisements or any other propaganda should be avoided. Then the thing is that the responsibility to the government. Responsibility to the government is in the sense that uh, every time, of course, government are the people who forms the rules and regulation. So the businessmen should have some responsibility to the government in the sense that they should abide by the rules and regulations formed by them. They should not go for illegal activities. Everything should be legal. If they require some papers, that should be done. If they should pay taxes, taxes should be paid honestly and in time. Then also the services should be made available for the government. And also the thing is that if the for example, if the government prohibits construction of industries in the forest area, then that should not be undertaken. It is a commitment that you have to the society, just a responsibility that you have to the society as well as to the government. So that is how you have that is how an organization should have a responsibility towards the government. Then the thing is about the shareholders. Shareholders are the owners of the business. Of course, the thing is that they are the main owners. They are the people who invest in an organization. So they should be provided with correct information about the company, how much finance they have, what is the financial position, then what kind of means what is their competitive position. All this right information should be provided to the shareholders, because on the basis of this they will be making future investments. So it is the responsibility of the manager or the organization to provide the shareholders with the right information regarding the finance, their position among the other competitors and all. Then what the responsibility is towards the community. Community is a society, which includes the thing is that spending a part of profit towards a civic and educational facility. The thing is that undertaking of social activities. Sometimes you must have seen that many MNCs and all nowadays do undertake some social activities, form of providing education to the people, that means to the students, and also the things that sometimes supporting some orphanages or old age homes. Such kinds of activities are being undertaken by the MNCs. Nowadays, it's more familiar with, you must have heard of the Reliance. Reliance Group do undertake many this kind of community activities. You must have seen that the Ambani Group is promoting or supporting many orphanages, many other education institutes. Such many activities are undertaken by them. So this is a commitment that they have, a responsibility that they have to the society. That is what the community responsibility that an organization should follow. Then it is about the environment. What commitment, what consideration, what responsibility that they should have to the environment. Of course, the consideration should be towards the protection of the environment. For this, what they have to do is that prevention of natural resources, preservation of natural resources. Preservation of natural resources have to be preserved. They have to be saved. The thing is that exploitation should not happen. Rather, sustainable approach to the natural resources should take place in the sense that they should efficiently utilize the resources and also save for the future as well. Then also they should adopt measures to control the pollution and waste management. The pollution have to be controlled when they release the materials into the water or to the air, that have to be purified before the release. Such kind of measures have to be adopted. And also the thing is that the waste management policies have should also be undertaken by the organization. This is what the corporate social responsibility are about. So just giving you a recap of what the corporate social responsibility is about. The corporate social responsibility, we can generally say that it refers to ensuring the success of the business by inclusion of social and environmental consideration into a company's operation, which means that a contribution to sustainable development should be there. And also it implies the way a company should balance its economic, environmental, and social objectives. Generally means about the organization's responsibility towards the society and various segments of the society. What responsibility an organization should have towards the society. That's what the corporate social responsibility is about. So various segments of the society, we can say employees, owners, consumers, government, stakeholders, community, and the environment. Employees, towards the employees, what responsibility they have is that they should provide proper training, promotion, proper selection should be there, pay wages should be there. So that only if this kind of commitment responsibility is shown to the employees, then they will work, the employees will work wholeheartedly without any hesitation. Then it is towards the owners. About the owners, it is about they should be given or they should be sent with regular feedbacks about the profitability, then the fairness, the regular return on the capital employed. All this information have to be sent to the owners, and owners are the people who will be making further decisions regarding the uh, management as well as the further process of the organization. Then the thing is that consumers, what responsibility they have to the consumers is that the product based responsibility as well as the marketing based. Product based is about we should ensure that only good quality products are being made available in the market, and also artificial scarcity should be avoided. Then the thing is that the buying capacity and the consumer preference should be taken into consideration while deciding the manufacturing policies. The thing is that how much the organization can buy and what are the consumer preference should be undertaken or which should be analyzed while deciding the manufacturing policies. Means how we are going to produce a product. Before producing a product, we should take these two factors into consideration, that is the buying capacity and the consumer preference. Then marketing related consumer responsibilities, that misled or the wrong information should not be passed on to the uh, consumers. For example, in the case of improper advertisements and all. And also the thing is that advertisements or selling of goods that are um, very risky to their health, which will have adverse effect on their health, which will risk their life. Such products should not be sold in the market. That's what marketing is about. And also the wrong claims about the product should not be done. Wrong claims in the sense that if you have this, sometimes you must have seen some advertisements that if you have this tablet, uh, within 3 days, for 3 days you will increase your weight by this much kilos, and all such kind of misled wrong claims should be avoided. Then it is about the responsibility towards the government. Responsibility towards the government is in the sense that these are the people who form time to time regulation, and they have control over business. They do have some control over the business. So the thing is that the responsibility in the sense they should follow these rules and regulation and also pay taxes regularly. Then they should be honest with the government with their activities. Then the responsibilities towards the stakeholders. Stakeholders should be provided with the right information about the financial position of the organization, and also with the um, what the managerial policies that they are undertaking. And also the thing is that the fair position of the company. What is the position of the company in comparison to the other competitors? That information should also be passed on to the shareholders because they are the people who decides with the future investment or not. Then the responsibility towards the community. Responsibility towards the community is about these the organization's responsibility towards spending a part of their profit for other social activities, such as some civic and educational facilities, and all, as I have said in the case of Reliance. Then towards the environment is about the sustainable development. They should preserve the natural resources and also control pollution and also manage waste. They should not pollute the environment. They should not they should not exploit the environment. That is what the responsibility that an organization should have towards the environment. So these are the responsibilities. Then the thing is that importance of CSR, that is the corporate social responsibility. It helps us to build long-term employee, customer, and citizen trust. The thing is that if social responsibility is there, a development of employee, customer, and citizen trust will be there. The thing is that employees will be satisfied, the customers will be satisfied, the whole nation will be satisfied. So that is what one importance is. Then it is about it helps to build a positive workplace environment. If the employees are being satisfied, then it will create a positive workplace environment. Then if a good CSR is being adopted, it improves the public image. Public image in the sense that if they're supporting social groups, social activities, if they're supporting the poor people, it improves their image. Public image will be improved. That is what the importance of CSR are. Now coming to the advantages we can say that CSR improve the corporate reputation. It is as same as it improves the image of the organization. It improves their reputation. It discourages government regulation in the sense that if we are not following the rules and regulations properly, of course, the government will take action against it. So, if the thing is that if proper corporate social responsibility is followed, the thing is that if the rules and regulations are being followed, then the government regulations won't be. It's not that won't be there; it will be less. Then the thing is that it stimulates long-term orientation and profit for business. It will, if a good corporate social responsibility is there, then the profit of the business can also be increased. Then the thing is about balances corporate power with responsibility. The thing is that this is a responsibility to work means that the owners as well as the management have. So it balances the corporate power with responsibility. Then the thing is that it improves the relationship with the stakeholders. The relationship between the management and the owners, the stakeholders, will also be improved. A good corporate social responsibility is full. The thing is that if they are provided with right information, then they will be happy and they will be happy in investing more with the firm. So it improves the relation with the stakeholders. So these are the importance of CSR and advantages of CSR. Hope it is clear to you.
Yes, Miss.
Now coming to managerial ethics. Ethics, you people must be familiar with the word ethics. Everyone, each and individual do follow some ethics. You people, everyone have some moral values that you follow in your life. So ethics, we can say that ethics is a code of moral principle and values that govern the behavior of a person or group with respect to what is right or what is wrong. So this is what ethics is. Ethics, we can say that it is a code of moral values or the code of moral principle which says that this is right and this is wrong. It might be means for an individual or for the whole organization. Sometimes the thing is that the ethics for the organization will be formed and they say that this is right for the organization, this is wrong for the organization. From individual point of view also the ethics are being formed. The thing is that what are right to you and what are wrong to you. So this is what ethics is about. Then ethics sets standards as to what is good or bad in conduct or decision making. Of course, it sets a standard in the sense that what is good and what is bad. Then the thing is about ethical issues occur when action of a person may harm or benefit. Thing is that ethical issue occurs, which means that the conflict based on ethics occurs when the other persons or other groups ethics is being harmed or being insulted, or any action of you by you will harm or affect others. So at that time, the ethical issues will occur. Sometimes the thing is that it might be right to you, but might be bad for other things, means other person. So at that time, ethical issues might occur. So this is generally about managerial ethics. Coming to the views on ethics, we have four main important views on ethics. That is utilitarian approach, approach based on rights, approach based on justice, and individualism. So this ethical theories, there are four important ethical theories or views on ethics. That is utilitarian approach, individual approach, moral rights, and justice approach. Are these four clear to you? Are you people able to read it properly? Can anyone? Okay, okay. So coming to the utilitarian approach, uh,
Yes, Miss.
okay. The thing is that for you people, the question might come as what are the four ethical theories or what are the views on ethics? Both are the same. These are the four theories or four views on ethics. First is the utilitarian approach. What people say about utilitarian approach is that this theory suggests that plans and the actions should be evaluated by their consequences. Means that the plan and action should be evaluated or should be regulated by their consequence. Depending upon the consequence, the plan and action should be evaluated. This is what the utilitarian approach says. So, what they say is that this policy is based on maximum good for the greatest number of people, which means that maximum number of people should benefit from this. That's what the inner meaning is about. The thing is that when you take a decision, maximum number of people should have its benefit. That is what the utilitarian approach is about. So it evaluates the ethical quality of policies and practices in terms of the effects on general well-being. The thing is that the positive and the negative results will be weighed. They will be weighing it, the positive and the negative results. And the thing is that uh, if the positive results outweigh the negative effect, then it can be justified. That is what the utilitarian approach is about. The thing is that when you weigh, the thing is that in this situation, the positive effects and the negative effects will be weighed. And if the positive effects is higher than the negative effects, then it will be justified, then that will be taken into consideration. For example, the thing is that if it is like, if there are uh, 10 people in an organization, and the thing is like, um, we can say, yeah, if there are 10 people in an organization, and if one of the person is being terminated or if is thrown out of the organization, then it will be benefiting the all other 9 people, that is the leftover 9 people. Then this is a utilitarian approach. Else, if the situation is that if all 10 are there in the organization and all 10 are not getting much benefit, then it is of useless, isn't it? But instead, if one is thrown out of the organization, only one person is having some negative effects, plus all 9 people are having more positive effect. So this is what utilitarian approach is about. So the greatest good, the maximum number of greatest good will be taken into consideration. So this is what utilitarian approach is about. Then coming to the approach based on rights, that is the moral rights. So the approach based on rights, it is about the, as the name suggests, it is based on the principle that an organization should respect an individual's dignity and rights. It is more based on the rights of the individual, individual liberty, individual privileges, individual rights, individual freedom, their privacy, the sense of right and wrong, the right to speak, right of freedom. This is what the approach based on rights is about, or the moral rights is about. So here we can say that each employee should be treated with due respect, should be provided safe working condition, a reasonable and equitable pay system. This is what the approach based on rights is about. The human rights and dignity is taken into consideration. Then we have the approach based on justice. And the approach based on justice is that the demands and the decision maker should be guided by the fairness or the justice or equity without being impartial. That is what justice is about. Whoever is a decision maker, he should not be biased. The thing is that he should not have any preference over the other. He should not be partial. He should be impartial. That is what the approach based on justice is about. This theory generally demands the decision maker should be guided by fairness. Fairness means rightness, then equity as well as impartiality. Impartiality. It means that all people in an organization should be treated in the same way without any difference. That's what the approach based on justice is about. Then individual approach is that it views contents that act as moral and ethical when they promote the individual long-term interest, which leads to the greatest good. The thing is that individual interest is taken into consideration, each individual's points of view. If it is good for that organization, if that individual's opinion is good for that organization, then that would be taken into consideration. That is what the individual approach is about. So these are the four theories or the views on ethics. Now coming to the barriers to ethics. First, the barrier to ethics is that chain of command. Chain of command is that, as we have discussed, one person will be reporting to the higher person, that person will be reporting to his higher person. That is the chain of command that we have already learned. So the thing is that if you feel that your superior is not ethical or he is being partial, then the thing is that you people will not go and report any problem to that person. So this is a barrier to management ethics. Then the thing is that group membership. Group membership is in the sense that when you people are as a group, the thing is that if you have a leader, yeah, of course in the group you have a leader, and you people will be having your own ethics and logics. The thing is that in such situation, what happens is that even if your group member do something unethical or some wrong, you people will try to ignore it. It won't be reported. That's what a barrier to managerial or management ethics is. Then the thing is about the ambiguous priorities. It happens when the policies are unclear and ambiguous. The thing is that employees' behavior cannot be guided in a unified direction. If the policies are not clear to you, how you should behave, how you should maintain your discipline, you will be behaving in a way whichever you want. Such a situation is also a barrier to management ethics. Then coming to the drawbacks of managerial ethics, first the thing is that it may reduce companies' freedom to maximize profit. That is what the first drawback is. It might sometimes reduce the company's profit. Then the thing is that it can be expensive and time consuming. Thing is that to form the what are the ethics, what are the code of ethics, the ethical codes, to form that it might be expensive and time consuming process. Then the thing is that higher cost. Again, it is repeating about the higher cost which may incur in sourcing from fair trade suppliers rather than at a lower price. The thing is that sometimes it is your ethics that you should get only quality products. Then the thing is that you have to sometimes purchase from that supplier itself who is charging higher price when the same product is available at a lower price. So sometimes such kind of situation might occur since you can sacrifice on the quality of the product, you might be in a means dilemma or you might have some cost related issues. So this is what the drawbacks of managerial ethics are. Now coming to the whistleblower. Whistleblower is an employee of the organization. We can say it is a position. He is an employee of the organization. Who reports another employee for something that is believed to be wrong, dishonest, or illegal. The thing is that whenever uh, uh, whenever he finds when some person is wrong or he's doing illegal act or he's being dishonest, then the whistleblower will uh, take his act. The thing is that he will report or he will talk to you on this. This is what the whistleblower. As the situation is that if a management decision itself, the thing is that if it is unethical, the whistleblower will remind the manager or the management that this situation will have an unethical fact, so this have to be rethought. This is what the role of a whistleblower is. So this is what the managerial ethics are. Hope it is clear to everyone. Do you have any doubts?
No, miss. Thank you, miss.
So thank you. Here we complete the second module as well.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, miss.
So shall I take the
Thank
attendance
you,
now?
miss.
Of course, miss.
Of
Yes,
course.
teacher.
Yes, Miss.
So Advait is present.
Yes,
Just
miss,
put a
present.
P or Y in your chat box so that I can see it. Advait is there. Ajay Krishna is there. Akhil K is there. Ajay Akshay Krishna is there. Then Akshay Krishna T. Yes, all the Akshay Krishna.
ടീച്ചർ അറ്റൻഡൻസ് പറഞ്ഞ ലെഫ്റ്റ് അടിക്കട്ടെ.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, miss.
Thank you, teacher.